Hola Colchoneros, welcome to Atleti Fanatics. And today we are joined by Michiel and Elro. And Elro is a bit confusing one because we don't know if he's supporting PSV or Atletico de Madrid at the moment. But Michiel, he has his own podcast, and it's like a 1913 podcast for PSV fans. And I'll drop the description. I'll drop the link in the description. You guys can check it out. And thank you so much, guys, for joining us. And I'll start with Elro actually. Elro, so what's going on with PSV and Atleti right now?
Yes. I'm at first I'm a PSV fan, but I'm in Spain. I support Atleti. A few years ago, I think it was 2011. I'm always for the underdog. So when it was the first year of Simeone, it was 2011, I think so, with Falcao. Um, and then the year came with the semi-final in the Champions League with Courtois, and then I also become a Atletico social. I don't know how you say it in social de Atletico. And I visited two times Calderon, and I was also at the championship match against Barcelona in 2014. Um, but today I'm maybe Atleti, but tomorrow I'm PSV fan. But uh,
Okay, so you're gonna
it
like play from both the sides today. Okay,
yes.
interesting. That's
Maybe
interesting.
I'm
But
gonna
I
try.
yeah, maybe for Elro it was like like he saw PSV and then PSV had the same stripes, red and white, and like he's like, oh, hang on, like Spain has the same team, and he's like,
Yes,
maybe I can
yes.
support them as well. But anyway, Mikhail, I mean, like you guys are having a very good season. I would say PSV, like you guys won the Dutch Championship last season and this season as well. You guys are on top of the table with I think 6 points clear on top of the table, and in Champions League as well. I think it's a bit of like mixed result because I think the Union one was a bit of a shocker,
Yeah,
and then the way you guys thrashed Napoli. Now Napoli again, like for example, like Italian teams, like I watch very often. I was very shocked, like 6-2.
yeah,
I was not able, and especially Antonio Conte side. So 6-2, that's a very big scoreline. And very recently as well against Liverpool as well, a 4-1. So big statement wins. So what do you think about PSV in the Champions League? Do you have like high hopes right now going forward, or like what's the scene?
yeah. We have. Well, first of all, thank you so much, Alex, for inviting us. It's so nice to talk to you guys. Um, yeah, we've been on growing form, I would say. So at the beginning of the season, PSV was trying to find their form, find their team, find the right team, and it didn't click. And at Union Saint-Gilloise, it was a bit of a shocker that we lost because we thought that would be the easiest game in the Champions League. We have a very difficult draw, but yeah, we lost it. So we lost hope that we could do anything in the Champions League this season. But then I think it was the away game at Leverkusen that Peter Bos, our head coach, he found the team. It was sort of by accident, and um, the players found new discipline, and since then we've been flying. And yeah, the Napoli game was outrageous, and Liverpool as well. We're still flying high. Yeah, so we're very confident for tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, so the teams I checked, Van Bommel is missing, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah,
he
and
was.
like yeah, sorry, go on.
Well, he was one of the big signings this summer, and maybe you know he's the son of a famous PSV legend. I don't know if he's on my. I think he's on here somewhere, but
Hopefully
I,
not.
I can see a lot of players like with this without the faces actually.
yeah, it's Cody Gakpo and Ruud Gullit and Luc de Jong, and so yeah,
No
uh,
Mark van Bommel.
no Jisung Park, but so Mark van Bommel is a club legend, and since then he's not so popular since he was the coach at PSV, but he's still a club legend, and his son, he was the big signing this summer, and he got injured. He scored against Union, and then he got injured for I think 9 or 10 months. So that was a big setback. But then we found sort of by accident we found the team that clicked, And so you might say it was a blessing in disguise, because now the team is very mature, very, tactically very strong. So yeah,
True, true. I mean, like since you mentioned like about these legends, like I know like like I've seen it in the past as well. I mean, like not like I saw them playing, but like when we talk about PSV, so like like historically, like when I was going through some historic stats, so like Romario used to play for PSV.
yeah,
R9 used to play for
yeah.
PSV. Ruud Gullit, you just mentioned, used to play for PSV. So a lot of legends
And
of this game
Roy,
has been played. Van
have,
Nistelrooy as well.
do
yeah.
you
Yeah,
have any Argentinians or Uruguayans famous from there? I
I
know, I know there was a striker that from Uruguay, striker winger that used to play
Ferrero,
there, Pereiro. That,
Gaston
Casemiro,
Ferrero.
yes.
Yeah,
but anyone else?
not Argentina.
Argentina, yeah, one. I can remember one, Maxi Romero.
Ah, yeah,
Okay,
And a few years back, but I think he doesn't play a match in the first squad. But it was Juan Carrizo.
okay.
But I think
very
he
young.
never played one
But
match.
Carrizo,
And
Carrizo was a goalkeeper, or no? Or I'm
no,
confusing.
no, no, no. I think he
I think he was a
never
striker, but
played
Okay,
so
he was a
much
youth
matches at
player who came through, I
yes,
think.
yeah. It was
okay.
2004, I think so.
A
And
long time ago.
yeah, it's a long time ago.
But the Argentinians usually go to Ajax, which is our, big rival.
Yeah, that's why I asked. Like I could think of lots of players at Ajax, but not much at PSV.
No, we do. Lately, there was a time when we had a lot of Mexican players. Andres Guardado, he's one of the club legends. I think he's on here. And
Lozano, I
Walter,
guess. Lozano,
Walter
if I'm not wrong.
yes.
yeah, Lozano and Gutierrez and
Yeah.
Walter
Salcido.
Benitez, also from Argentina.
Ah, yeah,
Walter Benitez.
yeah.
You are the
Ah,
Walter
yeah,
Benitez
the
of the
goalkeeper.
PSV podcast.
Actually, Benitez was rumored to join Atleti quite a few times
Yeah,
as backup goalkeeper
I
before
know. Yeah,
Musso came.
but we've got a good replacement for him. Kovar, he's doing very well.
Hmm.
True, true. I really want to talk about like since we're talking about the players, like the target just mentioned, Walter Benitez. There was one more player. Atleti fans really want him at Atletico de Madrid, and when he was at Valencia, he was having he had very high potential. We're talking. I
Oh,
think we know what we're talking about. We're talking about Yarek. So
Garciovski, yeah,
exactly, Yarek, and this guy has been playing pretty well for me. Like like we've been talking about this as well, Fran. In our podcast, like Atleti needs a good left-footed centre back at the moment because right now we have David Hansko, which again came from Eredivisie as well. From yeah, exactly, and then we have Longley, which is again it's like day and night difference between them. Then unfortunately we have some injuries and we have to play Longley, and then things are not really working out for us. So we we should have invested in youth, for example in Yarek when he was at Valencia, and so there's this debate going on with Atleti fans, like we should get Yarek from PSV and stuff. So I really haven't seen him in Eredivisie that much, but I have seen him in the Champions League. The guy is pretty good.
yeah.
So what do you think about Yarek for PSV at the moment?
So he's becoming kind of a cult figure because of he looks like Jesus a little bit, and but he's very very good. He's been so he's very young. He's 20 years old, and when he came, he needed some weeks to find his place and find his form. But last few weeks, he's been absolutely amazing. And so the best thing is he's a very good combination with Jerry Schouten, who is, I think, our best player at the moment. Who's a PSV currently plays with like 8 midfielders, and Jerry Schouten is a midfielder in the defense, but he is only thinking forward, always thinking about passing. And Jarek is so reliable next to him, so Jerry Schouten can do the fancy football things, and Jarek takes care of business in the back. So yeah, he's been very good.
So coming to this match, I mean, like since like we mentioned, like PSV has never won against Atletico de Madrid. So
Thank you
now I
for
really
reminding
wanna, yeah.
We scored
No,
one goal, I saw.
Yeah, you guys scored one goal exactly. The last time we faced each other was in a group stage, I guess. Was in 16-17, where Atleti won 1-0 and at the Philips Stadium, and then the second game, which was at our home stadium, we won 2-0 with Kevin Gamero and Antoine Griezmann scoring. And at Philips Stadium, I think it was Saul. Yeah, Saul with that volley. So I mean, like, and before that season, it was a penalty shootout. If you guys remember
Yes,
Yeah,
I was in
that.
the Calderon. I was in the
Yeah,
stadium
yeah, that was in the Calderon.
in
Exactly.
Madrid.
So
Yes,
exactly, that was a very close game. Like I don't know how both game ended 0-0. The 2016 one.
it was.
I
I
think
think it was one of the best matches. I don't know if you remember the goalkeeper Jeroen Zut.
I don't really remember the PSC
Okay, all
goalkeeper, but
right.
I do remember Oblak because he saved the penalties.
Yes, yes. He doesn't save any penalty, I think so, or maybe one. I don't know exactly, but Jeroen Zut saved all the chances of Atletico that matches.
yeah.
He was, I think he was at that moment he was one of the best keepers in the world. Uh,
And those
no
two
doubt
games
about
was
it.
very good. Yeah.
Yes, I think maybe one. Yes, he was one of the best keepers at that moment. But only that two matches. Only when Atletico comes to Eindhoven, he was fantastic. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
it was very close that matches. But I think I always only remember one chance for PSV. It was Jurgen Locadia in Calderon. He hit the post, uh, but that was the only chance I think so.
yeah, so I think Atletico Madrid is one of the most stable teams in Europe, right? They're always almost always at a very good level, not the best in Europe, but very good. And PSV at that moment was not as good as they are now. But and PSV, since our coach Peter Bos came in, is playing a very different style, very adventurous, very attacking, more so than the last time we played you guys.
Well, I was going to ask about that because when from what I remember from Peter Bosz, he was a very a manager that wanted that liked to risk very much. He
Yeah,
wanted like full on attack. I remember most of the midfielders were really up in the pitch. I saw that what's his name, Bierman, Bierman, that guy
Weidman, yeah, yeah,
usually
Weidman, yeah.
plays
Joey Veerman, yes,
as a six, but he's got like 5 goals this season or more,
7.
and
Yeah,
7. So I remember that he had a lot of the midfielders really up, wanting to score from different parts of the pitch. But you also have the other side of this that it can be very risky at times, and it can lead to sometimes very weak scenes in defense. So we aren't playing at our best, really, and I think PSV are far better side. But I am holding on
really?
to to this, only this, that your guys are risky sometimes. But yes, now I think you guys are way superior. We have been pretty weak, especially away from home. That's
Ah,
the main worrying part. So
True. I mean, if this game was at Metropolitano, I think like even Elro will, like would notice like Atleti would be much more comfortable going forward with this match. But like now the game is at Philips Stadium, so now and especially I just checked the weather was like it was raining cats and dogs in Eindhoven right now.
yeah.
The weather is very bad, and I saw the training ground, like Atleti was training at the stadium, so the weather was really bad. They were training under the rain, and tomorrow I don't know what's the forecast for tomorrow. Is it the same? Is it gonna rain?
Probably it's not as cold as it was a few days ago. So it is like 10 degrees or something, but it's probably raining. I'll check. But so to answer your question, Fran, so I actually, it's interesting that you say that, yeah, tomorrow it's 85% chance of rain. Uh, so yeah, probably will rain. But
Great. Yeah,
So
sorry, go on, go on, go on.
I think of PSV and Atletico de Madrid at the moment as being two very comparable teams in terms of strength. I think they're both, between maybe 10 and 20 in Europe, right? Not top 10 teams, but just between 10 and 20 maybe. I think it will be one of the most difficult games for PSV in the Champions League. And Peter Bos, our coach, actually said at the press conference today that it will be tactically the best side he will face this Champions League season. What I do think is that you're right. Peter Bos was known in the Netherlands as a kamikaze coach. He always goes forward.
Yeah.
There's always he's a Johan Cruyff sort of trainer. He always says, "I'd rather win 5-4 than 1-0." In that sense, he's the opposite of your coach Diego Simeone, I think, maybe. But since the Leverkusen game I was talking about, PSV has been looking at the way Arsenal are playing, and they're going all forward and all back. They always want to have like 5, 6, 7 men in the box, in the back and in front. So lately, the last 2, 3, or 4 weeks, PSV actually have been very good defensively as well. So we were under pressure against Liverpool for half an hour, but they're very disciplined at the moment defensively, and that's been the main thing, that PSV is not only good in attack but now also defensively.
True, and like I mean, you guys have the firepower coming from the bench as well. For example, against Liverpool. Now I don't know how to pronounce this name. Is it Druk? Druk? How do you pronounce it? But
Same for us as well.
yeah, so he scored 2 goals against Liverpool, and I saw the match. So like that energy, this what Atleti used to have with with our bench. For example, Angel Correa used to come on with that energy and firepower. But this season, our substitutes are not really giving us that much. And I think Elro, like you've seen a lot of athletic matches, so like he'll agree
Not
with
so
that.
much this year.
Oh, not so much. Okay, all right. So
No, sorry.
there's this season the substitutes are not really performing that well as it used to do, because again Simeone used to have plan B. If something's not working, he'll throw the players on the bench, and he doesn't hesitate. Like at halftime, he'll throw the substitutions. But this season, it's not really working that well. And now I'm gonna come to this question: like PSV as a team, like like with the starting players and the bench players, where do you think you guys can hurt Atleti in this match?
Um, shall I go, Elro? Shall I
Yes.
make an effort? So first of all, the guy's name is Chouhaib Driouche. He's a Moroccan player, and he's been actually quite bad in the Dutch league, but quite good in the Champions League. And the coach actually joked, "I will only play him in the Champions League now because he's got like 4 goals in the Champions League, and not so good in the main league." So where I think PSV are very good at the moment is Jerry Schouten in the back. He's a very good playmaker from the back. I said they have like 8 midfielders all around the pitch, so they're very good, in terms of footballing sense. They on the ball everywhere on the pitch. They're very comfortable. Tactically, they are very much. They have lots of variety. They have lots of discipline, so that's very good. Where we can hurt Atleti is, I think, in that sense, playing football on all sides of the pitch. Then again, Simeone is very good at finding answers, right? The plan B, you said. I think you have some players that are better than our players, Julian Alvarez. Well, one of our sort of talisman players might be Ricardo Pepi as a striker. He's actually falling out of place a little bit in terms of footballing, playmaking, but his finishing is absolutely great. And if he comes for the goal, his shots are always on target and very, very powerful. So that could be sort of the key to winning.
I was going to ask about that, because when I was seeing the squad, I touched on every player on the pitch, and it was a midfielder. Junior, Virman, Til, Saibari. And I was wondering about your strikers. And I saw that, well, you said that this Driush guy hasn't been playing very well in the league, but you have Boadu and Pepe. Those two haven't been performing as well.
Yeah, Boadi was a emergency transfer when our strikers were injured at the beginning of the season, and he hasn't played very much. But Pepe has been coming back from injury, and because Gustil, who is actually a midfielder who's been playing in a striker role, did very well. I think he scored 10 goals in the league as well,
Yeah,
and he's
Yeah,
and it's a fantastic fit with Sabari.
yeah.
And so I think that's the reason that Pepe doesn't get so many minutes, because it's a fantastic fit with Sabari. And Pepe is more like when I have the ball, I shoot. And yeah, I doesn't feel the fit with Pepe at the PSV squad.
Yeah, so you're saying that Pepe is a really good finisher, but not very intelligent in
Yes.
terms of his when he chooses
Yes.
to
I
shoot.
think he's in terms of putting pressure on the attackers, on the defenders of the opponent. He could improve, and his technical finesse isn't as good as some of the other players. But in the box, he's top class, and he's very
Yeah,
fast. Yeah,
and I was wondering, because you guys score pretty much average like 3 goals a game, but without a really goal scoring striker. And I was watching this Gustil. So he was a midfielder, but he's on 10 goals in the league. That's incredible.
yeah. He's always been a high scoring midfielder at Arne Slot's teams, at Feyenoord and at AZ, and also at PSV. He's always sort of, in the beginning of the season, we always say he's like the number 12 or 13. But then going in the season, he plays like 25 matches in the league because he's always fit. All the coaches love him because he works so hard. And, he's not the most aesthetically pleasing player. His technical abilities is a bit of a awkward player when you see him, but he doesn't make
Bit of an athletic kind of a player. You're telling me physical, like tough, rigid.
Well, I think with Griezmann and Alvarez, I think of Atletico as being very technical, quality players as well.
No, yeah, but the thing is, we are really lacking goals in our team right now. Julian Alvarez, like if you check, the last time I saw him playing actually very good was in the match against Real Madrid. After that, like Julian Alvarez hasn't been the same. Yes, he scored a few goals here and there, but again, we haven't seen the best of Julian Alvarez ever since that match.
Especially away from home. He hasn't scored in like
Especially
17 games.
exactly, he has just one goal in away games, so that is concerning for us. Antoine Griezmann is not what he used to be. It's that simple. I mean, like the age is catching up with him, and other than that, like we have Sorloth. Now we don't know what to expect with Sorloth. Sorloth is like like one day he'll score 4 goals, one day is like he'll miss all the chances he get. So like you don't know what you're getting with him. And then comes our the midfield problem as well, because we lack creators in midfield right now. Koke, again, he's aging. Gallagher is not really like a creative player. Baina is a creative player, but he's injured. Now Thiago Almada, he's getting the chance, he's getting into the team, but again, let's see if he starts tomorrow or not. That's the main problem, because I don't know how Simeone would go with this lineup tomorrow. And I think PSV has a very very good chance. Like again, it's a away game for us as well, so PSV has a very good chance for get the first win. But I really want to ask you this question, like like do you guys see it as a must win, or like you'll be happy with the draw as well?
I think a draw is good. I think I can say when Atletico comes to Eindhoven, it's a must win for PSV. I think a draw is good. Yeah.
I think it would be very very good to win, because if we win, we have 11 points. We are into the next round, and the next two opponents are Newcastle away and Bayern Munich at home. So I think we need 3 points from 3 games. This is the game to do it, right, at home. And I saw Atletico de Madrid has 2 easier games, so you'll qualify in the next.
Galatasaray away is not easy.
No,
Galatasaray away is not
come
easy.
on, no,
it's not easy.
it's
No, but for me, I am not very confident about tomorrow. Especially you said that the team is playing more as a block and with many midfielders. So those midfielders combining in close proximity between them around our midfield, which hasn't been great, especially since I think Gallagher is going to start. And I am not confident about that. But I wanted to ask about one player in particular who I loved at Heidenheim, and is Paul Vanna.
Yeah.
I saw he has been playing a bit, but not a whole lot. So I want you guys to tell me about him. I love him.
Yeah. So he's very young. He came in as a big signing. The first sort of matches in the season, he was catching up, and the team was very clicking. And now, because of some injuries, the last 2 games he has been starting, not in his normal position, but at 6 or 8 in the midfield. And the first game he showed some signs of class, but it was still okay. But the last game away from home at Heerenveen, which is if you ask Elro, the most difficult game of the season. We lost 10 years in a row.
yes,
And,
yes, it's our Halloween match, I think so. We always lose over there. It's horrible.
But the last 3 games there we won, and the last time was this Saturday, and Paul Warner was very good. So you can see he has the technical ability. He still needs a bit more, physical strength and discipline in defending, but he's catching up, and I think he's a bright prospect. I don't know if he will play tomorrow. I don't know.
I think Mauro Junior will play when he's better. I was sick last match. I think when Mauro Junior, I don't think Peter Bos will change something when it isn't necessary. I think also Ivan Perisic will be back. Hopefully he will start with the same 11 as the match against Liverpool. That's what I expect.
True. I really want to ask you guys this question. Who would be your standout player for PSV against Atletico de Madrid that you feel like can actually change the match? Let's say the match is very end to end, and you need that one player to step up, and who would be your that standout player that you feel like yes, this player can push us through that finish line?
Oh, for me, it's Ismail Saibari. Saibari is our star this year, and Saibari has his highs are very high. His lows can be, sometimes he doesn't show up, but this year I think he scored 3 goals away at Feyenoord, our biggest competitor right now. I don't know if you remember the panna he did against Virgil van Dijk at Liverpool. I mean, he almost ended his career. It's no, I think if he's on his game, he's the full package. He's fit, he's strong. He almost looks a little bit too heavy, but his technical ability, he's like a streets will never forget player, right? He's
like Memphis Depay used to be for PSV.
Yeah, a little bit, yes.
Oh, Memphis Depay, he also plays for Atletico, of course.
Oh yeah, he played for Atleti as well. Yeah,
Yes,
Depay. We
yes.
have that one thing in common. Yes.
Yeah, I think tomorrow when I go for Dennis Monk. I've some high expectation about him. He was at Napoli. He was one of the best players against Napoli, and his shot is so. Yeah, I think he's going to shoot a firm. How do you say firm outside the box?
Yeah,
That's what I expect.
I really liked Dennis Mann in in the Euros. I remember his game against Ukraine.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
incredible. It's a good player to watch tomorrow.
Yeah, when he came in at PSV, we didn't have very high expectations because we really didn't know him that well as a player, and he actually came in as a backup player because the thing was Perisic was supposed to play on the right and Van Bommel on the left, but Van Bommel got injured. Perisic went to the left, and then Dennis Mann got the spot. And the first two games he was quite disappointing, but since then he's been, very good.
Yeah, and
Is
you guys,
Perisic available? I'm sorry. Is Perisic available tomorrow, or like he's out?
50-50, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go on, Fran.
yeah, you guys said that usually the Argentines and Uruguayans go to Ajax, but I saw you're bringing a lot of players from Morocco. You have a left back, Saibari, Drieux.
Yeah.
Do you do that a lot?
Yeah, but in the Moroccans are a very large minority in the Netherlands. So a lot of actually, a big part of the Moroccan national team are actually Dutch players. Mazraoui, Saibari, Salah,
CS,
Ziyech.
yes.
They are born and bred in the Netherlands. It's just that their parents are Moroccan. But and Saibari has a different story because he's Spanish, Moroccan, Belgian, and Dutch. Yeah.
Wow, he's from everywhere.
Yeah, so he has, I think, a Spanish and a Moroccan passport, but he was raised in Belgium and came in at PSV at very young, as is now breaking through.
Okay, I have a last question about the player. That I remember he was very hyped on Twitter. Ryan Flamingo. I remember he scored against Juventus,
Oh, okay.
but I don't know how he's doing lately. So I wanted to know.
I think yes, the most time he's on the bench at the moment because Peter Bos preferred to play with Jordi Schouten in the defense with Gazirovski. It's a better fit. I think Gazirovski and Flamingo are two players with the same capabilities, and I think Schouten brings something special at the team. And I think the fit with Gazirovski and Flamingo, they're also 22 both players. Yeah, it's too young. It's too for the defense at the moment. So he has to start on the at the bench, and I think Peter Bos doesn't change it at the moment.
But last year he came in, Fran, and he was surprisingly good. So the game against Sporting Lisboa,
Yeah, Gyökeres.
he neutralized Gyökeres, and he was very good. And because Peter Bos always plays, one man in the back, and we lost Fran.
He asked last question and like he went off.
Yeah.
No. I think he had like some internet issue. He'll be back, but it's okay. You can continue, Michiel, with your answer.
Well, the role Flamengo had last year, this year Jarek has that role, right? So he's the really defensive player, and next to him is a more attacking-minded player. And last year, the attacking-minded player was Olivier Boscali. He's now at Brighton, and this year it's Jerdy Schouten. And Flamengo has bad luck because he wasn't as good as he was last year, but he's still good. But we found the perfect couple with Jarek and Jerry Schouten. Good to have you back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
sorry,
thought
I
like we.
disconnected for 2 seconds.
Yeah, but I have some key stats coming up for this game. It's very interesting. So PSV are like unbeaten in 4 matches against Spanish teams. They won 3, they've drawn 1, and the most recently was the one beating Girona 4-0. And Atleti are unbeaten in 8 games against Dutch teams. They won 6 and drawn 2. So I mean, this tie again, it's like someone has to break this streak, either PSV
Yeah.
or Atleti. But I really want to know this now. Like, which player is your like you're thinking like PSV has to stop this player in order to get Atleti on back foot, or in order to like get a result against Atleti. So which player do you think you guys have to like stop, for Atletico Madrid?
Right. So, well, I always been a fan of David Hanchko. I don't know how is he doing at Atletico Madrid.
He's our best center back at the moment. Let's
Yeah?
just say it this way. Yeah.
He's our best center back, but the problem is Simeone has been playing him a lot at left back, but not left back like joining the midfield or staying closer to the defense. Left back as in left wing back, which
Yeah.
is a bit of a problem, but I think he feels more secure with him there.
But
And
even
I
as
read
a left back, he's our best left back as well. So it's
Yes,
basically
of
like best
course.
player in two different positions.
but there were a lot of injuries at Atleti at the defense. I read.
Probably Nomad is back. Longley is out, which is good. I mean, it's good news for Atletico Madrid fans.
Okay, right.
Probably Nomad is back. Mark Pubil is there, who recently played the full 90 against Athletic Bilbao, and Jimenez is out. And then I think tomorrow David Hansko will definitely start as a centre back. And
So
I think with him it would be Mark Pubil.
so I always thought that David Hanchko was very good defensively, but also attacking. He was the best player at Feyenoord for 2 or 3 years, and one of the best players in the Dutch league. So I think he's very good. I already said as a football player, I very much admire Julian Alvarez, and
Yes.
Griezmann. Maybe he's not as good now, but still. And I'm,
And
um,
Jan Oblak.
yeah.
I'm a fan of that goalkeeper.
So
He's one of the best goalkeepers at the line.
yeah. So and I'm very curious about Almada. His name is right. So I think
Thiago Almada, yeah.
yeah, I think 2 years ago Ajax wanted to buy him,
Yeah, I
but since
remember.
then, hmm?
Yeah, I remember when he was at Atlanta.
Yeah, and at that time Ajax still had some money, but now they don't, and which is a good thing. But
Yeah, see the smile on his face when he mentions that like Ajax has no money now. That's smirky.
Yes, of course.
so
We
there,
don't like
there are
Ajax.
And no,
there
I
are
mean I felt it like the rivalry. I felt it. I felt that rivalry. That coming out. It's really good to see.
so actually I live in Amsterdam. Actually, I'm at Amsterdam in Amsterdam now, but
Oh
still,
wow. Okay. Enemy
yeah,
territory. Okay.
yeah. But no, but I think I'm curious about how is he doing. Ahmad, he came in this summer, right?
Yes. So I mean, coming from bench, like he started the few games at starting, and then he did pretty well. And then I don't know what happened with Simeone. Like, and then he dropped him to the bench, and then he was coming from the bench. He scored a few goals coming from the bench as well. But then again, let's say like he scored in two consecutive games, and then again back on the bench, and not even
Yeah, but
getting like a single minute.
that's
So
the thing. Like he was getting a ton of minutes, then got like a 1 month injury, and slowly started coming off the bench. He scored like in two consecutive games, but then didn't even enter the pitch, didn't get minutes. And now that Alex Baena is injured, he started last game. Well, he did all right, but I mean, he's surely going to start tomorrow or get some quality minutes.
So, can I ask you guys a question? So I listened to your last podcast, and you were quite, cynical or critical about Atletico de Madrid and especially Simeone. So in the Netherlands, I think Atletico de Madrid and Simeone has always been spoken with a lot of respect, right? Because they're the kind of team you can never win against. You can never ever win against because they're so disciplined. They're so high level. They always show up, and so for us, he's a bit of a legend. He's still one of the coaches we love to hate, but we also love to fear, right? So we fear Atletico a little bit in the Netherlands. I think that's fair, right, Elro?
yeah,
Yes, yes.
no, I'm gonna answer this. Like since you that fear thing, like with Simeone Atleti coming with that discipline you mentioned, we're not really that team anymore. Like that fear, like we're losing that fear because like when you mentioned discipline, this season we've considered a lot of goals, especially from set pieces. If you watch the game against Arsenal, we concede 4 goals within 13, 14 minutes, and the defending was very, very bad. And when you talk about the Barcelona game, if you look at the game again, we were winning 1-0, and again, awful defending, and then suddenly it's 3-1, and then we can't just really have a way back at the game. Athletic Bilbao. It was, I think, it was horrific from both, from the defense and the upfront as well. Because in the final third, we didn't create any chance, just one chance throughout the 90 minutes. And defensively, again, we gave away a very very easy goal to Athletic Bilbao. So this is, and again, it's been 2 3 years now. Our away form have been very very bad. There was this some hope when we played in the Champions League against Dortmund, where we could have made it to the semi-finals after so many years. And again, our away form came in play, and Dortmund beat us. Nicholas Fulkrug, he would have never scored that goal in his life. The header he scored against us. Sabitzer going from outside the box. Julian Brandt, again, very neat finishing from a tight angle. Ian Matson, who's at Aston Villa right now, a banger of a goal. So I don't know what happens to Atletico Madrid away from home, like something or the other. Like you mentioned, the 2016 game, the goalkeeper, he was having a time of his life. So that happens with us, like keepers, they just turn up to be prime. I don't know, Neuer or something.
Yeah, but
Anything?
we
And
you talk
another,
about being very disciplined, and we're defensive beast, but I think more the problem is that Simeone is trying to be that, but with players that don't really fit that. Like we have Lengle, Lenormand, fullbacks that aren't really the best defensively. So we have we're I think Simeone is trying to be that, but without the players to really be that, because at times he has been trying to defend even in a 6-3-1 formation and things like that to sort of bring that defensive unit back, but the players aren't just built for that. You think of Hansko and you don't think of a player that is meant to play really near the box defensively and
It's
defend
going.
very tight. Yeah, you think of him as an incredible passer that playing very high. But yeah, and against Barcelona, we were really aggressive. We scored the goal. We were playing very good, and then Simeone tried to sit back and defend, but our players just aren't good at that anymore, and we conceded like 10 minutes later. So yeah, with the people have that idea of Atletico, but nowadays not so much that.
Even in press conference, Peter Bosch mentioned, and even I think it was again I forgot his name. Gun, who was it? I forgot.
Uh, Sorry,
Who was with Peter Bosch? I forgot his name.
Peter Bos. You mean press
No,
conference?
yeah, there's a player with the manager, right? I forgot the name of the player.
In the press conference, right?
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah, yeah.
I think it was it Guus Til?
Till.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it was Till, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So even he mentioned that, and even Peter Bosch mentioned that Atleti is not what like think of Atleti right now. Like
no,
like they not just play defensive football; they play attacking football as well now.
yeah,
So it's not really that much defensive football with Atleti right now. So this is because again, like you mentioned, like as a perspective for Atleti, it's defensive football, but that has changed within those 2 3 years. Now we're trying to play attacking football, and that defensive football part is going away. Also because of the fact that Fran mentioned, like we used to have player like Godin, Miranda, even Savage in his prime used to be very good. Now we don't. We just have Jimenez, and the guy is injured right now.
yeah.
So is that we can't really go with that 1-0 and that's it, park the bus, game over. We can't do that anymore. There will
So
be a chance.
I looked up the stats from the Champions League this season, and I found that Atletico de Madrid actually had more passes, more shot creating actions than PSV did this season. And actually, defensively, PSV is better this season in the Champions League, which is odd because you think of PSV right now being very attacking. and Atletico usually being very defensively solid. But right now it's a little bit switched around. But it will be odd. But still, I think we may have better chances against Leverkusen or Newcastle United than we have against Atletico Madrid. I still think of Atletico Madrid as, the technical abilities, the tactical abilities are very good, and they can afford to wait, right? They can afford to punish you in one weak moment. So you've never won against Atletico Madrid. It's not like Napoli, who we've trashed.
Yeah, I definitely get it. I think for us, Atletico de Madrid, I think we lack those bully kind of players as well that we used to have. Like Diego Costa used to be up front, and that midfielder powerhouse we used to have in, like, for example, Gabi, Saul. He used to be like very good physically, that rigid kind of players. And now we don't really.
Depay.
Memphis Depay, yes. Again, I mean, he had kind of like he had his moments with Atletico Madrid, but he had his like bad moments as well.
Mhm.
But yeah. Uh, anyway, so I mean, like, it's funny, like at first when Memphis Depay came to the club, Atleti fans were shouting at him like for being fat. Do you remember, Fran?
Yeah, but it was. I think it was more of a joke. But you said that he has his good moments and bad moments. I remember more good moments from him than bad, because his bad moments were that he was injured often, but he had some really good moments. I remember an incredible shot against Granada from outside of the box.
Yeah,
His
in
last
Sevilla,
minute
Sevilla
goal.
as well.
His
Yeah,
last minute
Sevilla as
goal
well.
against Inter in the Champions League.
Celta
So
Vigo.
yeah, so I think he will be remembered better than most
Yeah.
people think.
So
And to another famous players from PSV who also play for Atletico Madrid are Santiago Arias.
Yeah,
Santiago Arias. I was just the Colombian guy. Yes,
we
yes, yes,
mentioned
yes.
Yes.
him. Yeah, we
Yeah,
mentioned him
we
in the last episode.
yeah, because we think like he had the number 4 with Atletico de Madrid, and he was very good. Like I think he came from the World Cup as well. Like when we signed him, he was very good. Like he had a very good World Cup with Colombia as well. And then I think like what really happened with Santiago Diaz was the injuries. The injuries really let him down, and then after that, like he wasn't the same. But Santiago
Yes.
Diaz as a right back, he was very good. He was very good. Like I saw
he,
him
he
at
was
for.
he was very popular at PSV, both because he was a good technical player and because he had a beautiful girlfriend as well. But to
A
say
Colombian.
A bit
about
of like Sergi, like Regulon, bit of like Sergi Regulon. Like people are like looking at like, oh, like not focusing on the player, but like the girlfriend. Like, okay.
but let's talk about Memphis Depay for a little bit, because when he came through at the PSV academy, he was one of the first to break through, and after that came Bergwijn and Cody Gakpo and Noni Madueke, and but Memphis Depay has been very bipolar everywhere he's gone. He's got some fans and he does some great things, but then he's got lots of critics, and it was that in Manchester, in Barcelona, in
Yeah,
Atletico.
and the thing, I watch a lot of South American football, and at Corinthians it's the same, because he's a
Yeah,
very eccentric player. Like when he signed for Corinthians, he had a huge wage, but he had like a million perks. Like he had to live in the most expensive hotel. He had to live in that
Yes.
place. He had to have that thing. So for
you
the
hate him or you love him.
performances, yes, for the performances, he asked for a lot. So sometimes it's difficult to love him, but he does good things in the pitch.
So I love him, because I love his independence. The most beautiful thing was, when he showed up at the Dutch team at the hotel a few years ago. He showed up with a very large hat, and it was he was one of the first players who was actually wearing designer clothes and being sort of a rap lifestyle.
Yeah,
And
that's him.
people were
He sings as well. He sings as well. He dropped
yeah,
few
yeah,
songs as well.
yeah. And so people asked him, "What about the hat?" And his famous answer was, "It's a hat." Well, you had to be there, but it was a great line. And so he's now the top scorer of all time in the Dutch team. And some fans, especially from Feyenoord and Ajax, hate him for it because they think he's not very good, but he is.
He is very good. If he focused more on football and less on being eccentric, we would have seen an old timer. But I remember at Atletico, he used to or at least once. I don't remember how many years he was here. I think one only. But I remember his birthday party. He celebrated, and then the pictures of his birthday party. Well, but Elro,
Real Madrid players were invited as well. So I was like, hang on, what's going on over here? Like, Real Madrid players are there, Atletico de Madrid players are there. So it's a bit of like a mix up.
wait, but
I like this kind of stories of the pie. We have so many stories about him.
Elro was about to talk about more players that play for both teams, and I was going I was remembering Dutch players that play for us, but most of our Dutch players didn't play for PSV. I mean, I remember Heitinga and Hasselbank, but neither both were Dutch that play for Atleti, but none from PSV. So I wanted to hear more players that play for both.
Old time with Jesus Gilles, I think so. It was the old time with Hasselbank.
Yeah, and we got relegated, by the way, when Hasselbank were over here.
Yeah.
He scored like 30 goals or something.
Yeah,
he scored 30 goals or something. Yeah, and like we got relegated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this was, I think, the back in 2001 or something.
So
Hasselbank had 2001 and something where we got relegated.
1999, 2000, yeah.
2000, yeah, where we got relegated with a player scoring 30 goals. Can you imagine?
So Dutch football always feels a connection with Spanish football, and especially Barcelona, obviously, because of Johan Cruyff and Neeskens, and then all the players, Klaarveld, Cocu.
You saw him over there. That's Cocu.
Yeah.
My screen.
I remember he was a manager at some point at PSV. Wait, wasn't he the manager that was managing the team when we played against you in 2016? Yeah.
He can't score against Atleti.
Yeah, but so I remember a lot of Ajax and Atleti players. Alderweireld, Luis Suarez, all these players, but not much from PSV. So if you have more.
I can't.
Mattea Kesman.
Yeah, or maybe in future, Yari can be the guy. Maybe in future.
Oh no. Mattea Kesman, Santiago Arias, Depay, and I think, that's it. I think so.
Yeah. Did we ever buy a player from Atletico Madrid who came to us?
I don't really remember.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So if you have 50 million and David Hanchko, you can have Jarek.
We will give you a better deal. We'll give you Longley, and like with 15 million, we'll give you Longley. That's a good deal.
What do you guys think, Fran and Alex? What do you think about tomorrow and your chances in the Champions League this season?
Fran can answer this first, and then I'll answer it.
Yeah, no, I am not very optimistic. I used to be very optimistic about the team, but nowadays I'm losing my hopes. But tomorrow I don't expect a really good result because, as we said, away from home we are not very good. And the thing about our Champions League games is that we got good home games, like winnable home games, except for Inter, but we still won. And really, really tough away games. Like we had to go to the Emirates, we have to go to the Galatasaray fans, and now to PSV. So I am not expecting a lot from tomorrow. And in the Champions League, it depends because I don't think we're getting top 8. And you depend on what you get in the draw. So, but I am not very confident. However, we had a director of football change. And we have to wait and see what he does in the window that comes now. So that can change everything.
But when the last match of Atletico is against Beude at home, I think that can be a problem. I think so. Then you have 11 points.
Yes. So I was going to answer this actually. Like I think this game can be the game like where we can actually secure our top eight if we win the match, of course, because we have 9 points. We get 3 points, we'll be on 12. Like Elro mentioned, we have Bodo for the last match. So that makes 15. Now we'll just have one game to to see off. That'll be Galatasaray. Galatasaray again, like you never know what's gonna happen over there with Turkish fans. On your heads up, shouting and everything. So you don't know what's gonna happen over there. So again, so like if we wanna like secure the top eight, this is the match. We have to win, and if we don't win this match, I think top eight will be difficult for us to get. And coming to this match, like Fan said, like, he doesn't have any hope. For me, like I'll have to see like if we win the midfield battle tomorrow, for example, with Koke and whoever plays Pablo Barrios, Thiago Almada, if we win the midfield battle, I think the game would be very much 50-50. And again, depends on our wing backs as well. If Giuliano has a good game on the right hand side with, let's say, against Yarek and your left back. So I think the game can be very much 50-50. And again, Peter Bosch mentioned this as well. Like, Atleti is very good with transition play. So if we beat that press of PSV as well for the first 10-15 minutes, because again, PSV at home for the first 10-15 minutes is going to literally push the whole team up front into our half. And with the fans, with their side. So first, I think the best part for Atletico de Madrid would be to get the defensive discipline in the first 10-15 minutes and try to get away from that press with the transition play. So again, having said that, the midfield battle is very, very important tomorrow. Whoever
So
wins that, whoever wins that midfield battle wins the match for me.
okay, so I think actually, so the midfield is our strongest line in the squad. And actually, at home in the Champions League, PSV have not been going forward that quickly. So usually they start, patiently waiting out the opponent, finding ways to tactically overclass them, and then maybe in the second, 15 minutes, they will start attacking more. Although away from home at Liverpool, they were very attacking in the first 15 minutes. But I think at home, the first 15 minutes will be a chess match. They will, watch each other's tactics. That's my expectation. Still,
So you're telling me like first 10-15 minutes there would be no press from PSV?
well, there will be there will be some, but I think in the last few games, PSV have not been as good in the first 15 minutes as they were later on, except for Liverpool. But yeah, well, they'll press, sure, but not as in the last 10 minutes of the first half. They'll really go. I think we'll see.
True. I mean, Fran, like we've scored like most of the goals this season within first 10-15 minutes. And then we lose it, obviously. Like I don't know what happens to us. Like Fran said, we back off. So do you think it's 10-15 minutes we can score against PSV? Since like Michiel is saying that,
Well,
like they won't press.
well, if this is the Peter Boss, I remember that is, as Mikkel said, kamikaze. We might have a chance because we have some good counter-attacking personnel, and Simeone has been trying to catch the opposition on counters a lot this season. But yeah, with Julian Alvarez, with Giuliano Simeone, those are players that are really good at counter-attacking. So if Peter Boss has his kamikaze genes still, we can maybe get something. That's my only hope at the moment.
What do you think, Elro?
A score?
And
I
like,
think,
what do you think about the
3,
match?
I expect a very yeah, it's hard to say. I think a draw, but I don't know why. 1-1, I think so. But it's just only about my feelings.
It has the risk of being a boring game, right? Because Atletico still has a very high level to fall back on, because I understand you guys are not very pleased with the form right now, but still, top Spanish league is better than top Dutch league. So
I expect something like really big, like a 4-3, 3-2, more than a boring game.
really,
That has been a case in the Champions League so far. Like we against Liverpool was 3-2. We won against Frankfurt 5-1. Then Arsenal we lost 4-0. So I expect something big rather than something boring.
yeah, maybe I'm still having the old Atletico in my head, right, and not the attacking or risky.
But I think what's also a risk for PSV. It's the first match after Union. The fans will think, maybe we gonna win this, because we win against Napoli, we win against Liverpool, and now the fans think, maybe Atletico, we have a chance, and I think that's also is also a risk. It was like, was it last year against that Atleti win against Feyenoord? Was it last year or 2 years ago? 1-3 in Rotterdam.
I think
that was 2-1. That was Mario Hermoso. Mario Hermoso scored out of nowhere. I don't know.
It was back when the Champions League had the other format.
Okay, yeah, I know. The fans of Feyenoord also said before that match, maybe we're gonna win this match. We play very well in Madrid, and we're gonna win this possibly.
Yeah, but in Madrid the game ended 3-2 as well. So 3-2 and 3-1.
Yes.
So that's what I was expecting.
Yeah,
sure.
I think the PSV fans have the same sentiment now. We expect a result, and that's my I don't.
But
I don't have very good feelings about it.
Yeah, Elro always goes by feelings, right? He's the romantic guy from the podcast. But so what I do think, Fran, where you could be right, is that in the game against Napoli, it was 3-1 until 7 minutes before the end, and then Napoli got a red card, and Peter Bosz sides always attack until the very end. If they can score more goals, they will score more goals. They will never ever hold back and think, we've got a 2 goals advantage.
Protect the lead. No.
Yeah, they will never ever do that. If you do that at Peter Bosz, he will he will get very angry. He will always his main focus is please the audience, score as many goals as you can, never stop. And that's the beauty of the high life we have now as PSV supporters. I've been a PSV supporter for a long time. In 1988, when we won the Champions League, that was the high time of PSV, and this is again, that kind of period where we will win.
It's always more interesting when you enjoy your team rather than thinking, oh no, we should protect the lead because we need to win. I want to enjoy first and foremost.
Yeah,
come on, that's in our DNA. Come on, man. What are you saying? Like 1-0, 2-0.
Well, but nowadays,
suffering is in our DNA.
That's the Feyenoord way in the Netherlands. They also think suffering is their DNA. Yeah.
Yeah, but like since you met Peter Bosz, like I remember him from his days from Borussia Dortmund, where he was kind of like he used to play the same, but like he used to get a lot of critics because Dortmund used to concede goals on counterattacks, and so like it happened that like Dortmund had to sack him.
He was at Dortmund like 5 months.
Yeah, but
so
Peter Bosz has matured tactically quite a lot. So when he came back to PSV. He was sick and tired of always being called the kamikaze coach. He's very attacking football, but never wins prizes. It was quite unfair because he got to the Europa League final with Ajax, and it wasn't it wasn't a very good Ajax side. But he got killed by Jose Mourinho, right? But he was always a very good coach. But he at PSV he implemented his attacking style, but now the last year maybe he's got more attention to the defensive side as well, and now they're very complete. They're, like I said, it's mostly comparable to Arteta's Arsenal. They all go back, they all go in front. It's La Machina Naranja. What was it called? The orange.
Máquina naranja. Yes.
The orange machine.
La
Yeah.
naranja mecánica.
Yeah. Total football. It is beginning to look like that at PSV because we don't have, top class European top class players. We don't have the Ruud van Nistelrooy or the real Ronaldo at PSV, but we don't have any weak spots now in this team. Everyone is comfortable on the ball. Everyone is tactically very high class. We're not physically and technically the best team, but we are tactically, I think.
True, true. So now my next question would be, I mean, this has already taken long. I didn't expect it to be go this long. But what would be your possible lineup for tomorrow's match?
I think
It's okay.
it would be the same lineup as against Liverpool. So cover at the goal. Right back is Salah
Serginho
Edine.
Dest.
Serginho Dest, Gazirovski, Schouten, Dest.
No, Salah
Salah Edine. At the midfield, Mauro Junior, Joey Veerman, and Ismail Sabari. Then Perisic, Dennis Mann, and Gustil.
So I think that might be true only if Perisic and Mauro are fit enough to play. It could be that if they are not, then Pepe will play and Gustil will go back to the midfield and Saibari will be on the left. So the defensive side is always the same. If Mauro doesn't play, maybe Paul Warner will play, but I think he will. I think Peter Bos will find him a bit too immature to let him start. He'll probably come in for the last 15 minutes or so. What will be the Atletico Madrid lineup?
Yeah, I was about to ask Fran that only. Fran, what would be your possible lineup for tomorrow's game?
But haven't there been any rumors about some things that Simeone did in training?
No,
Not yet, no?
nothing, not yet.
So I would probably play Pubil, Hansko in defense. Unfortunately, we don't have really any other center. But I really want to see Lenormand back in the team so that Molina doesn't play. I don't think that Molina playing will do us any good against PSV. So I wish to see Ruggeri, Hansko, Lenormand, Pubil. Ideally, not Gallagher, because I fear him against a team that combines really well in the middle. So something more, if Johnny is available, he would be really good against that. I don't know if he's recovered from injury, so Coque Barrios. And as we've been talking about, we need some counter-attacking potential. So maybe Nico, if he plays more up top, Juliano, Julian, and Almada wouldn't be bad. But Nico only if he plays closer up top. If he's used for his attacking spaces potential.
But true, I mean, like that would be like Nico. Again, that's if the game doesn't go well, that's 3 loss in a row, or like that's 3 games without a result. And then again, the question marks, like on would be on Nico Gonzalez, because we've been saying this a lot. Nico Gonzalez is being overused at Atletico de Madrid. So I mean, it's a very very tricky situation for Atleti right now, because we don't really have players available in certain positions. So I think defense now, without Longley, I'm a bit like less worried in a way, because David Hansko would play as a centre back, and Marco Peel I think would be alongside him, and Nahuel Molina will play as a right back, and the left back would be I think Mateo Ruggeri, and the midfield. Now this is the player I think a zone where Simeone has to overthink whether he starts Conor Gallagher, because again, Conor Gallagher is a type of a guy who can press for the full 90 minutes, who can be physical as well, who can disrupt a player with the shoulder pushes and stuff. with his tackling as well. So now this is a bit right. Or you go with a little bit of technicality
Yeah,
with
but
Koke.
I think Gallagher, I don't think he does that very well from the sixth position. I think he does that well more higher up the pitch, like more of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
as an advanced state or even on the wing.
True,
Last season he was playing on the left a lot.
true.
So
So yeah, sorry, go on. It's okay.
so that would be the weak spot of PSV, right? If a player like Gallagher is on Joey Veerman in
Mm.
midfield, then Joey Veerman, his in terms of passing, he's one of the best. But in terms of being defensively solid, when a player is up against him, and intensely pressing, then you can get to Joey Veerman's weak spot. So he could play Gallagher against Veerman.
Yeah, Gallagher playing around that zone instead of playing really deep. The problem is that for you guys, I don't know how much you watch Atleti, but we don't have many midfielders available in the squad in general. So Simeone has been playing Conor Gallagher a lot, really deep, and he's not the most technical player. He's more of a press player, a runner. So yes, if we can get him around Birman, as you say, that wouldn't be bad.
True. So now lies the question if Pablo Barrios will drop back or he will play. I mean, Pablo Barrios is definitely a starter in this team. Now, just because we play with that 4-4-2 kind of a formation right now at the start, and then defensively we switch to 5-3-2, and then attacking we change the formation as well. So again, we are playing with two midfielders. Now, Barrios is definitely there. Now, either Gallagher or Koke. Now, this is a very, very
No,
confusing
no,
one.
I changed my mind. No Nico Gonzalez. Play Gallagher next to Julian Alvarez. Gallagher next to Julian Alvarez, Almada and Juliano on the wings, and Koke and Barrios in midfield.
I mean, that's a good option as well. I was going with was I was going with Conor Gallagher on the left hand side, like he used to play last season, and then Koke and Barrios in the middle, Juliano on the right, and then up front Thiago Almada and Julian Alvarez. That would be my lineup for tomorrow's game. But anyway, we move to the next one, which is the score prediction, like the main one. Before we do the score prediction as well, I don't know if you guys play the fantasy football in Champions League. Do you guys do it?
Yeah, I do.
No.
Yeah.
You do. Okay, so who? Okay, if any PSV fan is watching this, who would be the player you'll pick, like for PSV
So
for the fan?
If you, in terms of midfielders who can score, you should always pick Gustil or Ismail Saibari because
In Champions League, Ismail Sabari.
because they are midfielders who score a lot and have a lot of assists. Mauro Junior is listed as a defender, but is actually a midfielder, and he's R6 if he's fit. But he's got like 5 or 6 assists already this season. So.
And Serginho Dest, what about him? Because he's listed as a defender, but he always goes very high.
He's an exciting player, but this is not his best season. But if if he has his day, then he's trouble. He comes into the attacking box a lot. Last few weeks, he hasn't been our best player.
Great. So guys, if you're looking to build your team for fantasy football, there you go. Michiel has your suggestions with you guys. Now we can go with score prediction. So I'll start with Elro on this one. Elro said a draw. Elro, have you changed your mind, or are you gonna stay with the
Not
same?
yet, not yet. Yeah, I changed my mind. 3-0 for PSV. Two times Dennis Mann and one time Ismail Sabari.
Okay. Michiel, what do you think?
So I was a little bit convinced by Fran's analysis. So I think it can be 4-2 or 4-3 maybe tomorrow. So it might be a high-scoring game. Let's go with 4-3 because that's the ultimate Peter Bosz scoreline, right?
Okay, wow. Okay, so now you're saying Atleti is a very good defensive side, and then you're also saying they score 4 against
Oh,
Atleti.
yeah.
Okay.
You've convinced me they're not good at defensive work.
Tomorrow, when Atletico win 1-0, I'm going to be the idiot here. But I am also going to predict high score, but 3-2 for PSV.
Wow, you're going for PSV win. Okay, damn. I'm only the one who's being optimistic. Okay, I think I'll
No,
go with it.
in this podcast, I'm going to be the face of negativity. I think.
I'm gonna be optimistic with this one because I think Simeone is on a lot of pressure with the two losses, and I think if this result goes bad again, like in Madrid, everything goes to hell. With one side of Madrid is already like burning, so the other side of Madrid will also start doing the same. So I think I'm gonna go with a 2-1 win for Atleti, and I'm gonna go with Julian Alvarez turning it back with his form, and I expect a David Hansko goal from a corner or something. I don't know why I feel it.
So actually, the odds are in favor of Atletico de Madrid tomorrow. A
For
little bit.
me, yes. For me, yes.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
but also on the gambling sites, I thought saw the odds are in favor of Atletico.
Good. So I mean, you can either make your money or either you lose your money. So yeah, bet accordingly. But anyway, guys, anything else you wanna add before we end this?
Yeah, I have one question for you guys. So again, thank you so much for inviting. It's so nice to speak to other fans from all around the world. And I think you know a lot about PSV actually. But so my question is for you, Alex and Fran. Who is the player right now at Atletico who excites you the most as a football fan? Who can do some
Uh,
magic things that you.
Answer here, but unfortunately, not tomorrow because he is injured. But Alex Baena has been he's probably my favorite player in the world right now. He came last window to Atletico, and while at Villarreal, he was like one of the best creators in Europe, and he's one of those tens that grabs the ball and pulls all the strings and makes things happen. So I love him. Yeah, he's pretty much I turn on the TV to watch Atletico and I want him to grab the ball. But if not him, then Barrios because he's our midfield maestro from the academy. But yeah, those two bring me joy when I watch the team.
Right.
I'm gonna pretty much agree with Fran over here, and I would have said Pablo Barrios because again, Pablo Barrios is again he came from the academy just like Koke did. So, and Koke has been here. I mean, like we just mentioned, in like the last match we played was like 9 years ago, 10 years ago, and we still have 3, 4 players playing, still playing for Atletico de Madrid, and Koke is one of them. So I'm just saying.
Yeah,
So
and
for me, Paulo Boris is definitely that guy who actually excites me because we
and
don't see much academy players coming to the team and performing
that's true.
that well.
Yeah, and I am, well, as you know, I am from Argentina, and here I am a River Plate fan. So Julian Alvarez is also Julian Alvarez and Giuliano Simeone both came from the River Plate Academy. So I love them as well.
Yeah.
What about you guys? Which PSV player like you guys think that really excites you? You're like, I'm gonna buy his jersey or anything. I'm gonna name my son after him or whatever.
Elro.
That's a hard question. I think Ivan Perisic because I like it so much when a legend like him he plays for PSV Eindhoven. He plays everywhere at the world. He plays World Cup finals or one World Cup final, and I like it so much when a player like him comes to PSV. And we never forget. He always will be a player who plays for PSV. It's also like Mario Götze, he plays for PSV, like R9, Romario. We
Yeah.
never forget when that he plays for my favorite team.
Actually, my
True.
daughter,
True.
my daughters. I have two young daughters who are PSV fans in the middle of Amsterdam, and they also are fans of Perisic. They say he's the most intelligent player on the pitch. So yeah. But for me tomorrow, I what I so there's lots of players who are exciting at PSV. For me right now, there's not one who is above the other. But what tomorrow I will be looking for is the match Oblak Kovar. The two goalkeepers are very different styles. So I think of Oblak as one of the best line goalkeepers, And Kovar, he's very risk taking. So he will have the ball and keep the ball and walk out for 10 meters outside of the box and just wait. And I think he's very brave in that sense with the ball on his feet. And I like it about him.
Yeah, I remember Kovar. He was at the Xavi Alonso Invincible season, right? At Leverkusen.
Yeah.
He played the whole Europa League that season.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty interesting. I like his risky style.
Yeah, so some of the so I always go to the matches, and in the stadium, my next door neighbor, he's always, angry at him because he doesn't just shoot the ball immediately out of the box, but and he takes a lot of risks, and he's very calm, and he takes his time. But I like it. Yeah.
Interesting stuff. I mean, that's why I said David Hansko will score tomorrow. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure. I mean, like, we've been doing this for like 1 hour 20 minutes, and it doesn't really feel like 1 hour 20 minutes. It feels like like you still want to talk more out of this. I know that feeling is coming out, but unfortunately, we have to end this. But again, thank you so much, guys. The people from 1913 podcast, and I'll leave the link in the description, so if any PSV fan is watching us right now, they can check you guys out. And until then, I would say just like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you guys soon, and hopefully on the good side. Nothing against Michiel and Elro, but yeah, until then, I would say Opa Atleti. Ciao.
Ciao.
Opa.